Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Uriah from XSpeed Music, and today I'm just going to show you how to create multiple outputs in Cubase. Yes, so let's assume that if you have a VST plugin and you like to route different outputs, so that means you don't have to create different instances of that particular VST plugin. So I'm going to show you how to create multiple outputs. So that means you're going to use just one VST plugin to create different outputs, and through these outputs you can play different instruments through just one plugin, just to save the life of your computer, as in the life of your PC or your Mac. So let's get straight to it. So now I'm just going to create one instance of instruments, like one instance of Helion, and then on the first channel I'm going to put an instrument over there. So probably, let's say, piano layer. So let me just double click. You can double click or you can drag and drop and it should be fine. So this is our piano layer. Okay, so this is our piano layer, and then our second channel is going to be probably a different instrument. Let's choose something like strings over here. Just double click strings, and the moment you play you should get it, but probably it's not going to work. So that's what we are going to fix over here. You see, it's still playing the piano. We've chosen strings, but it's still playing as piano. So let's just choose all our instruments over here before we move to the next step. So I'm going to do something like a combo organ on the third channel. Yeah, so let's just take combo organ on the third channel. Now we've got three different channels over here. That's 1, 2, and 3, like three different instruments. Now the point is, our goal is to create individual channels, like individual output channels for the instrument, like separate output channels. So in this case, you can put your compressors and everything on the channel that is related to one particular instrument, and that is what we are talking about. The next thing I'm going to do is to look for the outputs, and to do that I have to activate my output first. I have to activate the output. So to activate the output, you just locate, you go on the instance of Helion over here, as you can watch on my screen, and just go to this section, toggle on this section, and you'll find out inputs / outputs options, like it's an I and O kind of options. Yeah, so just go click on that and go on activate output. Just click on activate output. Now to activate the output, it depends on how many outputs you want. If you want 6 outputs, you can just activate 6 of them. If you want all the outputs, those are the 16 outputs, you can also activate all the 16 outputs in your shot. So in this case, I'd like to activate just 3 of them because I just need 3 outputs. So I'm going to activate this. The main is always output 1, and then we have HS output out2 stereo, which is output 2. So I'm just going to activate it by just clicking on this knob, and it should be activated. I'm going to click on this one also, and it should be activated. So now I have my main, which is the output 1, and then the 2 and 3 activated. Now the next thing we have to do is to go to this section. You know, there is an edit section. Most of the time when you open the program, it comes with an edit section like this. It comes like the default. Now we have to route the output, like individual channels to individual outputs. So this is our channel 1. We have to make sure that channel 1 is linked to output 1, else it's going to play through a different output. Do you understand? It's going to play through the main output, which is also the main one. So for the first channel, most of the time you don't have to do anything because it's already routed to the main output. So we go on the mixer. Make sure you locate the mixer on the Helion, and just at this section you find output over there. Now in this section, that's where we are going to select our outputs. So channel 1 is on output 1, which is main, and channel 2 is going to be on output 2, and then channel 3 will be on output 3. So in this case, you can apply reverbs to each of the instruments, like separate reverbs. You know, you can do your compression, you can add a lot of effect to that particular channel. Like you can treat it as a different channel altogether. And this is going to enhance your mix, because most of the time we don't like the way they sound, like the default sound of the VST plugin. Sometimes you like to add some bit of EQ to the channel and all those kind of stuff. Now, and this is also going to help you because it's not going to put a lot of stress on your PC or your Mac, because instead of opening 3 different Harleon, in this case we are just opening one. We are just initiating just one Harleon, and with that one, it's going to save you a lot of time and it will save you a lot of processing power. So probably you can use that processing, like the rest of the processing power, for probably your VST plugins or any other third-party plugins you like to use. I hope you get my point very well. Okay, so now let's move straight to our channel. So now we've routed everything. We've routed our channels. Main 1 is on main, 2 is on output 2, channel 3 is on output 3. So we've routed all our channels. Now the next thing we have to do is to go to the MIDI track, which is the instrument track, as you may call it. Now the first instance is the Harleon. That's like the default one, and that one, for that one, it's playing through the main. So when you play it, you're going to get your piano, because remember, piano is actually our main, as in the first instrument is a piano layer. That's our main instrument, yeah? Now, to activate this 2 and 3 here, we'd have to create MIDI instruments, yeah? Or MIDI. Just create MIDI. And then in my case, I'm going to create 2 separate MIDIs and name them probably, let's say MIDI. Let's just name them as MIDI. So you just go on MIDI and that's it. Now, automatically, if you create it beneath the Harleon, automatically it's going to assign itself to the other channels. That's why I started it by going the other way. So automatically it's going to create its own channels. So when you go to the MIDI 1 is also already assigned to channel 2. You can see it over here as the strings. So when you play it, you should get your strings. You should hear your strings, yeah, which is channel 2. And if you don't hear string and probably hear a different thing, you just have to come to this section where the channels are. Make sure that they are playing through. You select the right channel for the instrument you want to play. So this is strings. Let me rename it as strings so we don't confuse ourselves. And then we move to the third instrument, which is the organ. So when you go to the organ, also you remember that we selected channel 3 as a combo organ. So when you play channel 3, you should hear your combo organ over there. Yeah, so that is channel 3. So in this case, we are good to go. We can just rename it as our organ so we don't get confused. And then that's it. Now, when you move on the mixer board, when you come to the mixer console, you realize that the moment I play the Harleon 1, which is our piano, let me rename it as, Harleon 1 as our piano, it should reflect on the mixer board. This is the output we created. You see? So you have one particular output for the piano. So if I want to add effects, like effect to this particular channel, I can do a lot. You see, I can do a lot. You have like a whole lot of effect to apply. Your reverbs, you can do some sends and all that, you know, delays and all this kind of stuff over here, you know. So it's really going to help you a lot. So let's say you want to play the strings. This is the string. This is the channel. It's playing on channel 2. You can see the moment you toggle on Harleon, it's playing on channel 1, which is this very one. You go on strings, it's playing on channel 2. That's the main output. When you go to organ is also playing over here. You see? So we can treat these individual instruments separately by adding some gates, effects, sends, you know, do a lot of crazy things to it. And probably you can also route it to a subgroup as well. You know, it's also possible to route it to a subgroup, which I wouldn't be going through in this very section. So you can route it to a subgroup. You can route it to the main. As it stands now, it's playing through the main, like through the main stereo out. So you can also route it to subgroups, and you know, you can do a lot of crazy things with it, with just one instance of Harleon or one instance of any other VST plugin you find yourself using. So thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, because the moment you subscribe, it's going to help my channel and it's going to make me, you know, it's going to give me a lot of motivation to come on here and see you in the next one.